Hello, everyone. It is going to take me a minute. Not only did the time change and we all lost an hour, which, side note, here in Saskatchewan, we don't do that. We don't do that here.
Nope.
More places need to follow suit. We heard British Columbia. Is it this year or next year?
This is the last time they're changing their clock.
This is the last time British Columbia is changing their clocks. Two provinces over. So we're hoping that that will pressure everywhere else to just stop it. Stop messing with the time. We don't need it. We have technology. So,
We have electricity and lights.
yeah, we've got electricity and all of the things. Anyway, I'm tired, y'all. I am going on no sleep. I just got off a plane this morning and I lost an hour. Like, yeah, I went on a quick, tiny little trip and I haven't slept in 3 days. I'm just losing my mind. But yeah, there and back, and I got off the plane, and he came pick me up, and I got home. I slept for 20 minutes, unpacked my suitcase, and then came down here, and I was like, I'm still going live. So this might get
Creative?
yeah, it might get super creative. Everyone's so creative. Anyway, yeah. So my brain needs extra time to warm up, and yeah. Time has changed, which until I started doing this as a job, I never even understood any of it. I was like, none of this makes sense. But now, because again, it doesn't change here for me. However, the different brands I work with and the different things I'm doing, my lives, I've set, like, they're set at central time. So now I'm starting an hour earlier than I normally do because it's 2 p.m. central on Sundays. So yeah, everything's a little bit bonkers, you know? Yeah, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Everything's just a bit nuts. But yeah, I'm really hoping that more and more people can pressure the powers that be to stop with this time change nonsense. Like, I'm fine with time zones, as annoying as they are, but that makes sense to me. But like, fall back, spring forward, blah, blah, blah. Stop it. Just stop it. We don't need that anymore. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I could have skipped today, but honestly, I had it already set up. And a part of me, we'll just see. I have a card planned. It's going to be simple-ish, my level of simple. And yeah. And once this live's over, I am going to go curl up in bed and enjoy maybe some sleep because I have not slept in 2 days. Sandy's a little crazy, but thankfully everything was good and the flights were everything went good.
Yep.
I only got lost a couple times, you know, like, yeah, trying to navigate. So again, I'm in Saskatchewan, y'all. The very little experience with public transport. I rarely ever go anywhere. I don't do nothing, but I'm here. I made it. I didn't get lost somewhere. Didn't end up in Montreal. That was where the one gate was going. Where I was at the wrong gate for the plane, and then I was just like, although I was like, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
A little side trip to Montreal for a few. That would have been amazing. Apparently, round trip Montreal from here is insanely expensive.
Really?
Yeah, it's expensive. Anyway, sorry, folks. I'm like all over the place, and I barely talked to Chris. Because yeah, it's like went upstairs, face planted into my pillows for 20 minutes, and he and I have not talked. So yeah, he and I'll catch up afterwards. Yeah, all of the time change chaos is, and yeah, I'm really glad that BC has jumped on it because I hope that pressures, because like Saskatchewan is a small province. We don't have a lot of people. We are the size of Texas land-wise, but we are the population of, because it's what, a million here?
1.2 now.
1.2 million in Saskatchewan. So we got a lot of land, not very many people. So we don't have like power, but British Columbia does. So let's hope it starts something, and they'll stop messing around with the time. Because, yeah, it always annoys me when it happens. But now, like, actually, like, fully experiencing it, like, I lost an hour this morning. And I also didn't sleep because I was so stressed out because I was like, if we do not catch this specific bus to get to the airport at this time, I am going to have to pay a fortune for an Uber. So I didn't sleep because I was like, everything's good, and we lost the hour and I was up literally every hour checking my phone. I'm tired. Anyway, I'm done with that. Let's get into actual making. Yeah. So, but yeah, I've talked about this before. That is one of my most Googled things constantly. When I'm doing release stuff or I'm participating in like blog hops, video hops, etc. I'm always like, what time PST, what time Eastern, etc. So I can figure out when I need to like have my work done by. That's all the time. All the time. I need those clocks like they have at places of all the different time zones. I need those.
You need like
It's just labeled with the different brands I work with instead of like New York, London, yada yada. It's like Simon Says Stamp, Ultra New Time, etc. That would make I actually should do that. I should. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, but yeah, 2 p.m. Central on Sundays. That is the only schedule I've been able to keep for going on how long now? 3 years? I don't even remember when we started exactly doing the live streams, but for the most part, I've been keeping that one. Everything else, I fly by the seat of my pants. I can't even think straight, y'all. But yeah, it's yeah, all the different time stuff. It's thank goodness again for smartphones and Google. I'm always like, what time is it here? Because I don't know. All right, housekeeping. You need one of those. Yeah, I do. I need all the clocks. I need an assistant on. I just need someone that we could like. Although the unpaid intern does his bit, and then you do. I was gonna say someone to bring me snacks, but you bring me snacks too. But then yeah, I guess you should like also just inform me. It's this time for this thing. Someone to do all the grunt work. Anyway, housekeeping. Let me get back to like what I was getting on. I think the sale that I posted ends tonight. Yeah, it does. Okay. All the info is in the description box below the video. I had already posted it on my socials, all the things, and I'm using Simon products today, so this applies. 24% off. The code is below. That applies to Simon brand products, CZ Design, using that as well, and Rainbow Splash products. All the info and the fine, because it doesn't work on like card kits, that kind of stuff. All that is below. That ends tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. And then, yeah, that's all the housekeeping. Oh my goodness. Yep. The time change. I've heard that from people, like how their pets, it'll like it messes them up, especially when they're in a schedule, like getting like eating at the same time and kids, all of it. I get it. I'm surprised people haven't rioted before this because I would have. This I think was the first time where I fully actively experienced the time change and like losing that hour, and it sucks. I'm jet lagged, even though I'm so jet lagged. Oh, you guys, I'm tired. Okay. Doodly doo. And yes, hello to everyone. I didn't even post like a heads up that I for sure was going to be going live today. I had it set up several days ago, and then we're doing it. That's what we're doing. So, what am I doing? This is what I'm doing. Let's switch the camera down so I can actually. Yeah, we should write like no more time change. To me, that's a reasonable request. It is. It seems so dumb to me, you know? So, Yeah. Okay. I think I know. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I know what I'm doing. We'll go down to here. Make sure my. Okay, everything's working. I think we're good. Okay, as long as everything keeps working. So, used this many times before. Done many videos using this. I've done live streams. I think using both of these. Um, in the latest release from Simon, so that was the end of February, which was recent, like a week and a half ago, whenever it was. They released the Whirl butterflies die set, which I used in my live stream last week, and it sold out minutes before I went live, which it will be restocked. There's no ETA on that one yet. I was kind of surprised, but I assume they're working on it. That said, I'd mentioned last week, and then I have it linked in the description box below. I had all the products I did this a while ago. Specifically the Whirl dies, because there's a bunch of them that have been released over the last however many years. I don't even know. And those butterflies coordinate with these. And there's leaves, and I'm using the Dragonfly, and several other products, a lot of which I've used many times. And yeah, so I linked that little list for anyone who wants to check it out, because they're really fun. I have a thing for dyes that add either like this is just like piercing detail, or stitching detail, anything like that. I love it. I love the effect it gives to just plain old cardstock. So I pulled out these two, which again, these came out a couple years ago, something. So the Whirl Bay Leaves and the Whirl Dragonfly. Because I love me a good dragonfly. I love me a good dragonfly. So I pulled those out, and again, there's that code that ends tonight, and it's a good deal. And then I also pulled out, this was from the latest release, I think. It was either from the newest one or the one before. It's recent, but it's basic stitched rectangle die set. They exist. They've existed for years. Love them. Can't go wrong, again, with a good stitching edge. So A2 nested stitch rectangles. And then I pulled out the Squovals. I haven't used these in a while. When they first came out though, they sold out, and it took a while to restock them. And I've used them a couple times, but I pulled those out just for a fun little edge. And then I did a quick little bit of die cutting, because like I said, this is not going to be a crazy super long live, y'all, because otherwise you guys are just going to watch a blank screen, and I'm going to be curled up on the floor napping, because I won't make it. I won't make it. So, do you need a die cut machine for all of those? Yes. You can't use wafer dies without a die cut machine. I also pulled out this. I don't have the paper I used. I don't have a direct link for, because this is old Doodlebug paper. Because I have been getting into my stash and actually using some of my papers. And those that have watched me for a long time know that I have a soft spot for Doodlebug. I've had a soft spot for them for years. I love their colors and their patterns and the cutesiness and the critter, all of it. All of it. All of it. So I had this pack out. And while I don't have a direct link for this one, they're not like exact repetitive in a sense, but the colors they use, they stick to the same color family and stuff, and there's mixes and matches and all the things. So this was just one sheet of paper. I die cut an A2 stitched from one side of it, and then flipped it over, and then die cut the Squoval from the other side, just to keep it simple, and the colors match and tone and tone. Also, hello, Christy. And yes, 3 packs, 1 to use, 1 to pet, 1 to hoard, 100%. 100%. There are some packs of Doodlebug paper that I have more than one of, so that I don't feel bad hacking into it. I have so much pattern paper. Anyway, so I die cut. So this will be my card base, or card front, because it's A2 size. The Squoval, I also die cut just white cardstock, because I'm planning on popping this up with some Big Mama foam tape. And when I'm using any sort of foam dimension, like just dimension of any sort with pattern paper. This isn't flimsy, you know, it's not like super thin pattern paper, but I don't like it's thinner than like a good heavyweight cardstock. So what I usually like to do is if it's a die cut or whatever, just if I'm cutting it, if I'm planning on popping pattern paper up, I like to have a piece of cardstock behind it for a little extra stability and strength, and then I can pop it up or do whatever I want with it. You know? So that's what I did. Hello, Dana. The Doodlebug just charming key. I know the Doodlebug keychains. I showed those last week. Yeah, because I used some other Doodlebug pattern paper in last week's live. You know, I'm doing real good in just slowly chipping away. I said hacking away earlier, but really it's more just like very slowly chipping. I have enough Doodlebug pattern paper, most likely to last me multiple lifetimes, and I'm okay with that. You know, it makes me happy. So a little bit of liquid glue, wee, nothing too crazy, and then I'm going to put this on the cardstock so that it's got its little extra bit of strength to it. There we go. I don't think there's any technical difficulties. There shouldn't be.
I hope not. I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's working. Everything's working. Yeah. Okay. So I've got that. So I have that. I have that. And then the Whirl bay leaves. Like all that detail. All that detail. You cannot go wrong. One pass through the machine, you know? And it just so good. So I just die cut that from just white cardstock. But I want to add a little bit of color to it just because I can. So I pulled out, I kind of dug through my ink stash. I had swatched it somewhere. I already lost the swatch, but these colors are pretty close to this. So I've got TIDEPOOL and TROPIC inks. And a blending brush would be nice. That would help. You know? That would help. How about where are all my blending brushes? What'd you do with all my blending brushes? There's a blending brush. This'll work. Okay, we're good. You lost your Big Mama foam tape. Is it propped up vertically? That's how I lost mine. And then everyone laughed at me.
I think you're yelling anywhere.
I couldn't find it for the longest time, and I was like, where's something I use like practically daily, and I had it like propped up, you know, because that roll, anyone who's used the Big Mama foam tape, in fact, I'm planning on using it. Let me grab it. It's enormous, but if it's upright, you just don't see it as much. And I'd had mine like propped upright kind of in the corner next to a bunch of other things. And so I wasn't, because I was looking for this, you know, your brain just wants to see the great big huge vinyl sized roll of foam tape. And I couldn't find it for a while. And I had a backup, and I opened like a new roll. I was using it for a bit. And then, yeah, I like finally my brain clicked, and it was right in front of me the entire time. Happens, man. It happens. So Big Mama foam tape, we'll be using that on that, but we'll get to it. I just want to add, I thought it would just look pretty, just add a little bit of ink to these leaves, just cause, you know. There we go. And we're just gonna start right at like kind of the base, and I'm gonna do a fairly light hand. I want to keep these still pretty white so that they pop against all of the pattern paper, but I just thought adding that little bit of color, there may be glitter added later. We'll see. Splatter is like a given, as always, you know? And yeah, just light little doop 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 right at the base of each leaf. Nothing too crazy. I can reserve most of the crazy for another live, for another day. Honestly, the crazy is probably right now just passed out sleeping.
Right.
It will awaken soon enough. Let's just enjoy it while it lasts. So, just little smidges of color like that. Yeah, I like that. It just gives it that little extra something. I now have one drawer dedicated to all things adhesive. That's funny. I would say same, but I have so much adhesive now. It's kind of nuts. I have multiple drawers. Literally multiple drawers. But again, I do this as a job. I have more adhesive than even a hardcore crafter would need. But because I do it as a job, and also that is one of the things I get a little paranoid about, is like, because you need it. You need glue. I can't run out of glue. I literally need it. So I have backstock of all of my favorite adhesives, like the Big Mama foam tape, my liquid glues, etc. So I've got a good amount, you know? Okay. Yeah, I like how this is going. Just cute. It's like a glow, you know? It's like a glow. A little bit more. Doop. 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 And if you start wherever you start with an ink blend without re-inking, so then like the bulk of the ink is going right where I'm, placing it, and then whatever's just left off on the brush as I'm like flicking the brush or dragging it, depending on how you're doing it, it doesn't really matter. Just naturally just fades it out, so you get that soft look, on top of the fact that these inks do soften on their own. They dry back a bit. And then the third bonus is any sort of die cut that has piercing, like a bunch of detail already on it, also helps disguise. So if the blend wasn't perfect, you wouldn't notice it as much. Love it. Random question. I have no clue why this popped in my head, but does the ink you tap and lids dry out? It's still usable. Oh, it never dries out. It never dries out. I have ink inside some of my ink pads that has been sitting there forever, really. It's part of why it ties into how I talk about like using re-inkers. Like, let's say specifically like a re-inker for this, like using them to like watercolor, etc., which I've done lots of videos on. But how I always tell people, add water. Make sure you're adding water and you're not just going in with solid re-inker, because there's an additive added to them to prevent them from drying out. Because you don't want your ink pad to dry out a month after you bought it and opened it, and it gets exposed to air. So there's like glycerin and different things in it. And that also keeps it. Yeah. If I ever opened an ink pad and this was all dried out, I'd be concerned that there was like a crack and something not cool happening, because these just, it seals up just enough that it's fine. It's fine. I missed something. What's your favorite glue? The same ones I always use. I've got Simon Says Stamps Craft Tacky Glue. That is like my main go-to, has been for a bajillion years now. And then their other glue, the Pawsitively Everything Craft Glue, the one they came out with more recently, like a year ago. I've used both. The Craft Tacky Glue is super, super thick. It's one of the thickest glues I've ever used. I personally love that. It's not for everyone. And then Simon's... How's everything? I'm going to grab the bottle. Yeah, my brain is not working, but I have bottles of it. I'll show you.
I feel like I should say something while you're growing.
You should have danced.
I know.
You should have danced for the camera and entertained the people for the 30 seconds I was away from it. Just had to go to my liquid adhesives drawer. I have multiple. Anyway, that's my go-to. But again, it is very, very, very thick. So some people just don't like that. And And I already did a review on this years ago, and you guys have seen it. Like, and I already use it, the precision glue press, because that was my issue with this was this bottle. Over time, I was like, especially as it gets, it's fine in the beginning, but when you're getting to less and less glue in there, you have to squeeze harder and harder, and it was getting like painful for me. And I don't like this glue in the little bottles that everyone likes to use with the little super fine metal tip. Because same thing, I had to squeeze it so hard and my hands would ache at the end of the day. It was awful. So, big fan of this. Did a review of it after I had used it for a few months after I bought it a couple years ago, whenever. Game changer. So I put this into the bottle for the glue press, my go-to. Anyway, and then Simon released the Positively Perfect Craft Glue. This stuff works amazing. It's a much thinner consistency than this. Holds great, love it. I kind of use them both interchangeably, really. This one technically, like, I do have some in another bottle and I use it the precision press. Works great. It's fine. But this one, it's a different style of bottle too, like a different type of plastic. It's really soft. So I played with it for quite a while, and this one has a nice little fine tip. And then there's little bottles, similar to a little bottle of glossy accents, that this glue comes in. And that. And I was using this when I first got it too, just because I was curious, and I really liked it. I liked it. I've used this quite a bit, and then I went back to the craft tacky more only because I was like, I have so many bottles of this. I have so many, like, because when they have sales, I stock up, and I was like, I'm not gonna let it sit forever and like go bad. Who knows? It would take years probably, but I go back and forth between these two glues. These are my two liquid glues that I use like all the time. So that's my preference. There's tons on the market now. We have a million options, and a lot of them work great. These are the two that I just use all the time. So yeah, that's what works for me. Um, and yeah, are you coming to Simon Create this year? Not most likely, no. Everything's sold out faster than I could make any plans. And then the flights are astronomical. And the hotels nearby, all the hotels nearby are sold out. Like, it just, but the biggest one was the flights. The flights were a lot, y'all. And I just, So yeah, I would love to. It would be so much fun. It was so fun when I went in 2023. Someday I would like to go to more things, but yeah, the flights were utterly insane. Really, because again, I'm in Saskatchewan. It's just got a puddle jump from here to Toronto, and yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. So, okay, I have this. What else was I doing? Oh, Dragonfly. I got my little. He's not little. The Whirl Dragonfly. I have used him so many times, and I love dragonflies. So I die cut his wings from Shimmer Vellum. Where's my Shimmer Vellum? I have a full pack of it, of course. Another absolute favorite. I'm not even sure if it's in stock right now. I didn't look before I started die cutting, but that's Shimmer Vellum. I love Simon's regular vellum. I use that all the time, bar none. And then they've got Shimmer Vellum. And then they have a few specialty vellums as well that are really pretty. There's ice, bronze, and silver, something like that. You can't go wrong with really, really pretty vellum. Boop. So you want to keep an eye on the sound.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I think the sound is working. For anyone who's not, if you have, like, refresh. Because some of that ain't me, because sometimes it can be my software, but there have been some widespread issues with live streaming the last few weeks, and some of the creators that I know, and they've been having issues with sound and just things, and of course it varies, but as of right now, everything is good on my end. Okay, so I die cut everything twice, but I'm not planning on adding 2 dragonflies to this card. I just want to add 1, but I was planning on doubling everything up, and this will hopefully make sense once I actually do it. So I die cut his little bodies from black cardstock, and then the wings from Shimmer Vellum. I'm just keeping an eye on the chat here. Yeah. Oh, and I love somebody already thumbed down my live. Wow. Thanks for the engagement, whoever, random troll. Love it. Every time. Without fail. I find it funny. Let's be honest. Anyway, I want to double up the wings, because I just thought that would look kind of cool. Because the reason why I love Vellum so much for specifically critter wings, like you guys see me do it in a million videos. Vellum wings, just so pretty. So pretty. And yeah, I just thought doubling these up would just give it a slightly different look. The thing you always have to remember with Vellum is that adhesive shows through it. Not as much with specialty vellums, because, there's the added elements of the shimmer and what have you. So a lot of times you can get away with a little more not being as creative hiding the glue. However, the other thing you have to remember with Vellum is the nature of Vellum is not like your standard cardstock. So liquid glue affects it differently. Because if you've ever had, a very, very watery glue, because I've had people contact me over the years and they're just like, all my papers curling and you can see the marks of the glue, like what is going on? And 90% of the time I'm like, one, what glue are you using? And if it's like a school glue, like Elmer's glue, like that sort of a thing, I was like, there's your culprit, because it's got a high water content and it's soaking into the paper. And then the other issue at times is using like really thin papers, really lightweight cardstock, which ain't bashing the lighter weight cardstock. I like lightweight cardstock. However, you just got to go lighter handed on your adhesive with stuff like that. And then with Vellum, it's kind of the same thing. So you don't want to glop glue on, just the littlest dab. You don't need much. And then you just got to remember, because if you do go too heavy handed with the glue, as it dries, Vellum will curl if there's too much moisture. And actually, and I still have it because I haven't mailed out any of the live stream winners. But I had added stickles. This was the one we made last week. These ones are sold. This die set is out of stock. They will restock it. It's going to take them a while. But I added stickles during the live. And then when it fully dried, see how it curled? Which is exactly what I wanted. But it's just something to keep in mind, that liquid affects Vellum completely differently than it does cardstock or thinner paper. So that one is on last week's live, last Sunday. So this time I went with Shimmer Vellum, and then die cut it twice, adhered the wings just together. I didn't offset them, but I am thinking still about doing the same thing, maybe adding a bit of stickles in the end, and then these will curl up a smidge. We shall see. So they're doubled up, and then I added adhesive, or I die cut both bodies. Sorry, you guys, my brain is just like, no. Just no. Sleep. I need sleep. Anyway, I die cut 2 bodies because my plan was to just sandwich these wings between it, just to secure them into place. Is it necessary? Not really, but I'm going to do it anyway because I can. And it only took no extra time because I wanted 2 sets of the wings and the body with this die set is attached. So it didn't take me any extra time. And then I've got, isn't it beautiful? Look at that. Look at that dragonfly. I love him. I love him. I just love dragonflies. Except it's sad when they do start showing up because that's the end of summer here. When we get the big ones.
Yeah.
Like, we get just enormous dragonflies here at the end of summer. Like, the big blue ones that, like, their bodies are literally about that long. Great big wings. And more often than not, sometimes, depending on, you know, where we are around here and stuff, sometimes they'll land on me. And I love it.
Sometimes they'll cling to the soffits.
Yeah, they'll cling to our soffits, or they'll come hang out because I always have like potted flowers and things. And then sometimes they'll let me like, I'll go like this and they'll crawl onto me off the flower. And I'm just like, I love dragonflies so much. So anyway, it's just sad because it's the end of summer when they start showing up around here. Okay, I want to adjust him just a smidge. There we go. Am I happy with that? Yes. Okay, now I can sandwich the other one with this one, just cause, like I said, you don't need to. This extra step is extra, you know. So we're just gonna go like that and like that, and he's good. Yes. Oh, make sure he's lined up. There we go. There we go. Oh, I love it. I love it. And yeah, you cannot go wrong with Vellum. I think honestly every card maker should have like good Vellum, and then you can't go wrong with some Shimmer Vellum, you know, because it's just pretty with zero effort. That's my jam, man. The less effort, the better. So we've got a dragonfly and that. See, ooh, it's coming together. We need a sentiment, and I warned everyone from the get-go that I'd be using that. And they do have it's pre-order because it's sold out, which I was not surprised. Not surprised that this sold out. It is on pre-order. I checked. So when it comes specific, it varies by company, etc. But with Simon Says Stamp, when an item is on pre-order, it just means that you're allowed to, like, you can order it, add it to your cart, but it says with the description, it'll say when, whatever item is, so specifically this one, when it's planned to be back in stock and shipping. So it did, I think when I checked right before I went live, it said like end of March. And you just have to keep that in mind that if your order isn't going to ship till the pre-order is in stock, they hold your entire order. Because I've had people reach out to me and like flip out over it, and you know, it takes too long to ship. And I was like, did you order pre-order items? And it's like, oh, they did. And I was like, it clearly states right with it that your order doesn't ship till the pre-order. So but this set's worth it because Kathy Zilski, sentiments, fonts, so good. Love it. So yeah, I want to use, I don't know what I want to use. There's so many good, so many to choose from. Wow. I want to use, do I use it just a note? Kind of. Yeah. I have a lot of favorites. I like I like all of them. I like all of them. This is a set that it's just like, I could use that one, I could use that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that. You know? But I'm going to use the just a note. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we're going to use. And I'm going to, I dug through my cardstock stash. Actually, wait, we'll add Splatter before, because the sentiment, we can do that while the Splatter dries. Ha! Y'all, my brain, it's slowly warming up. very, very slowly. Just taking its sweet time. I didn't adhere this like very well either, but I can just carefully trim off the bit of white cardstock that's peeking out because I'm not going to peel apart this die cut. You can just go like that. Boop. There you go. And right there too. I really adhered this crookedly. Good job. This is what happens when Amy does a live stream after not sleeping for 2 days. I mean, it could be worse. You know, it could be a lot worse. I could just be sitting here crying the entire time. I do that on a full night's sleep, you know? So I consider this a win. All right. Yeah, we'll pop him up. Do I want to add baker's twine to this? I don't know why. Every time I use Doodlebug, it's like, well, I have to use doodle twine, but do I actually want to? Yeah, I do. Where's my doodle twine? I already linked to it. And I've talked about the... I have backups of what I could get my hands on. Doodlebug used to make, I think it was like a dozen colors. Like I said, they have specific colors and they're all called specific names, everything. I love Doodlebug. Anyway, years and years and years ago, this was more than a decade ago, they started doing doodle twine, like just baker's twine. But they had about a dozen colors and I had all of it because love it. And then over the years, they've discontinued most, if not all of it. It's very hard to find now and it makes me sad because I've run out of some of the colors and I've got a few extra rolls of the black and white. And it makes me sad because I love it. And I'm particular about my baker's twine, and trust me, because people are like, well, use this brand or this brand. I was like, tried it, it's not the same. Tried it, it's not the same. And I'm picky about my baker's twine because Doodlebug spoiled me, okay? It's like the perfect weight, and it's not too thick, and it's not too thin, and the twist is good. You guys, I will go a little bit ridiculous over baker's twine. In fact, to the point where I'm actually going to run it through right there. Right there is where I'm going to want my bow. Okay. So to do that, got that there. I want to wrap this around a second time. This all makes sense in a second too. So I've got my baker's twine where it needs to be. And then I put this there. Yep. Okay, this will make sense in a second. And then, yes, it is Kathy's birthday today. Kathy Zielski. I texted her as my plane was landing. Once I was able to turn on like data and then it popped up. So I think she's on the same time zone as us.
T-6.
She's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Did I text her ungodly early? I hope not, Kathy. I love you. Yeah, it's her birthday today. So yeah, happy birthday to Kathy. But yeah, I texted her. So yeah, I just hope that wasn't too early. If it was, and if she ends up seeing this, she's out having fun, I think, for her birthday. I hope so. I hope she's having a great day. I hope that text wasn't too early because I lost hours. All right, I am not responsible for anything right now. Oh, y'all. Okay.
I think it's okay.
It should be. I think she's the same time. It might have been an hour earlier. I think she gets up earlier than I do too, though. She's not a miserable morning person. I don't think like I am. Ugh.
Miserable in the morning.
Oh, I'm miserable in the morning, and you know it. You are well aware of how awful I am. I am not a morning person. I am not a functioning human first thing in the morning. It's not good. It's kind of like with the lives. I need a bit of time for my brain to wake up, and then I'm okay. But first thing in the morning, no, no, no. Brain no work, me no happy, need, caffeine, all the things. Okay. So I did all of that because I wanted the baker's twine to come right through there so that I could put my little bow right there. I thought that would look cute. So he's adhered into place. And then I just got to fiddle a little bit to get my baker's twine the way I want it. Get out of there. There we go. There we go. This is working. It's working. Okay. Morning people are weird. I just can't. Yep. That's kind of me. But morning people are good people. The unpaid intern's a morning person. Or, well, I guess you're not. You function better, but you do it out of necessity.
Yeah.
Like, I think he forces himself to morning. Because I can't function. I'm not functioning. Like, the kids will ask me questions first, and I'm just like, no. Just, no. Just, so,
Someone
yeah.
has to do it.
Yeah. You're not necessarily, you're not like a cheerful, like, yeah, let's get the day roar in the morning. You're just like, you just get up and do it.
I'll do that to troll you some morning.
Yeah.
But
Well, you're taking your life in your hands when you're all like, woo, it's a morning time. And I'm like, I want a divorce. Y'all. Yep. Okay. So.
we can have one tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm divorced tomorrow morning. I will feel much better. Right now, I'm like running on non-existent fumes at this point. That bow turned out good though. Look at that. Who'da thunk? Although again, I have tied thousands of bows over the years. So many. And he just turned out so cute. Okay. I used to be a night owl. I'm still a night owl. I can't be. Well, actually, no, I still am a night owl. Because I'm usually working in here till late in the evenings. But I've been really paying attention to that again lately. My creativity and like my drive and everything starts to hit around 4 p.m. Love that so much for me. It's like I'm just like drudging through my day, and then right around about 4, it's like, and I was like that as a teenager. Everything, like I can stay up all night. I would rather sleep during the day. If there was a way to do it, and I could get the whole world to change, everything should not even be allowed to be open till afternoon. There should be no major decisions or business dealings until later in the day. It's just how it should be. Hotel checkouts should not be at 11 a.m. Should be at like 3. But early anyway. All my grievances, which all are unreasonable, and I'm aware of it. Anyway. I only love the morning if it's quiet and everyone leaves me the heck alone. Yes. That is perfection. I get that every once in a while. Depending on, all the schedules and different things. And sometimes you'll get up, but you'll go to your computer and you've got your coffee, and I'm just like left in peace and quiet. And I've got my, my coffee, whatever. And it's just like, it's nice. And just my brain can slowly warm up, and just come to temperature. Love it. Okay. So we got that with my little bow. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to adhere him. We got a lot of like piercing detail. I might pop him up a smidge as well. Let's see. Let's put Big Mama foam tape on the back of this first. Yeah. Wintertime. Yes. Like, that is one of the drawbacks of being further north, is the lack of sunlight. That also makes mornings just a straight up no, It's like it's still dark out. Like November and into January, it's like we don't get sunlight till what, after 9 a.m. roughly, something like that. Awful. It's awful. Like, we get so little sunlight, and
now it's sunlight at 7 a.m.
Yep. The sun starts coming up earlier. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. There we go.
We're almost to the point where it's like 50-50 if it's plus 10.
Well, now we're in crazy weather because it's like I get home and it's raining. We still have snow on the ground, y'all. So it's raining. He was out. We barely, we slid down our vehicle slid down our driveway because it's pure ice because of the rain. And then we're all like, it was a stressful homecoming. was like, I don't want anyone to die. Ah. Okay. Big Mama foam tape. There we go. And then I'd like to be a bear and just hibernate for a few months. Same. You know? And then spend the rest of your time just eating. The unpaid intern doesn't like bears, but I get a kick out of how they track them, you know? And there's like those like contests and predictions, and they track the tagged bears over the season, and they show how, you know, when they first come out of hibernation versus when they are fat and happy, and like some of them are profusely rotund, and I love it. I don't know. There's something about just a round, fat, happy bear, and I was like, that is the life, man. That is the life. Okay. We're gonna pop him on here. Like so. Boop. Love it. So we got that. And then we've got our dry. Do I want him to go that way? Because I'm gonna have a sentiment. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put. Oh, I was gonna put him up with foam tape. That's what I was gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little sliver of foam tape behind my, yeah, Fat Bear Week. It is. It's. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of foam tape. In fact, I'm going to cut a very small sliver of foam tape. Boop. See if I can do it with these. Carefully. Like that. Love it. Love it. Because that's all I need. Just the teensiest bits here. So I can hide it. Oh yeah. We're doing good. We're doing good. Sneak that there. And then I can add foam tape right there. This is the only time I will actually, because I've talked about this a lot, I don't like getting finicky with foam tape. Like, I always admire the makers who will cut slivers of foam tape behind their sentiments and make their sentiments float, and like different little elements where it's like, oh, they did some finicky work to do that, and it looks amazing. And I'm always like, couldn't be me. You'd never catch me doing it. But give me a like dragonfly body, and I'm like, oh, look at me cutting like little millimeter slivers of foam tape. Like, no biggie. But if it's a sentiment, I'd be like, nope, not doing it. Slapping that on and moving on about my day. Priorities, people. Priorities. Yep, I'm good with that. Okay. Oh yeah, Simon's Shimmer Vellum is gorgeous. And this is one thing, because like I don't like telling people to like order it while you can, like last chance, woo, limited, woo. The one thing I will say, specifically with Vellum, I can't speak to other products in the industry, and usually, you know, stuff comes and goes, and that's just is what it is. You know, you don't need all the things, you know, you know. But Vellum, this, like, Simon has been carrying the Shimmer Vellum for a while. I'm not exactly sure how long, but it's been a while. But I've noticed over the years that different brands will have a pretty vellum. I'll get it in my, you know, I'll get some, I'll start using it, and then it just disappears off the market. Like, can't find it anymore, yada yada. And I'm not 100% sure if it's because, you know, they just can't get it made anymore, you know, because that is sometimes a reason, or if it's just not popular enough, which I'm just like, come on, people. Seriously, it's shimmery vellum. Like, what is going on with people? But yeah, if with that's the only one where it's like, if you see a shimmery vellum that you like, I would encourage a person to get some, because it comes and goes, and it annoys me when it does that. I found a few packs in my stash of some color shimmer vellum that, yeah, I had forgot I had ordered. I'm super happy I have it, but then I went and looked online, and you can't get it anywhere. Love it so much. Anyway. Okay. I'm going to put that like right there. There we go. So again, he's got a little bit of dimension, but not a ton. And of course, we're going to add splatter. Like, obviously. Let me move some things out of the way. I don't need all the things, but Amy does. Yeah, exactly. That's why I always tell y'all, do as I say, not as I do. I'm all like, you don't need all the things. You don't need all the colors. You don't need every single thing by every single brand, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. But I also do this as a job. Always remember that. So, it's a great job to have that I've kind of made for myself, but it's also used very often as an excuse. Because I was like, add to cart. I do this as a job, y'all. You know, it's justified. It's like, do I need all the things? No, I know it. I know it. Am I going to get it anyway? Yep. It makes me happy. Okay. Am I going to be able to add shimmery splatter? I'm not 100% certain these... I mean... Maybe. That's too green. That's why you need all the colors. And you wouldn't think mowed lawn, but...
I think about mowed lawns all the time.
It's because you're a dude. You're such... Oh, it's so funny. What is it with men and the neighbors' lawns? That amuses me so greatly.
It's geometrically and aesthetically pleasing.
Like, it's not even just the lawn mowing. I've started to notice it with like the snow blowing too. It's like this unspoken little competition. Like whoever gets their snowblower out first, you know, and then whoever's got a nicer snowblower, and then yeah, the lawn stuff. Like it amuses me. But also, we live in the suburbs, and everyone can like we have no privacy, and everyone can see everyone's backyards. So yeah, all the men are like side-eyeing all the neighbors' lawns and whoever has the nicest, which ours is one of the nicest because he does a good job.
At least we don't have a neighbor that spray paints their dead trees anymore.
I know, we're not getting into that. Okay, let me shake this up. Okay. Yes, it's lawn fawns pearlescent vellum. They had so many colors of it, and then it just disappeared. I think they still have a few colors in stock, but not most of them. And thankfully, that was one of the things when they released it, which was a while ago. I must have, and I don't remember adding it all to cart and then I forgot because I was cleaning some things up, and then I came because they're thin packs, and I came across them, and I was like, oh, beautiful vellum, and yeah. Anyway, yeah, okay. So I've got cracked pistachio and mowed lawn, and mowed lawn actually is very. I gotta like kind of close. It doesn't have to be an exact match. That's not what I'm going for. I don't want to be like totally jarring because I'm kind of doing fairly tone on tone with this. In fact, I'll use both. Why not? It's my car. I can do what I want. Let's use both. So the thing you gotta remember with the Distress Spritz, this also applies to the Distress Mica Stain, oxide sprays, and any spray product that contains like a shimmer or a pigment that isn't just straight liquid. That all settles to the bottom. You always got to remember that. So they always need to be shaken up really, really well. And no matter what, I store all my sprays. Any product that has like liquid like this, store them upright. I keep the Distress Spritz in the tin, which you guys already saw. But I keep the tins vertical. Like I keep them all upright. So these bottles, because all it takes is one loose cap and you're going to have an awful mess. These would be bad enough, but like the mica stains, oxide sprays, like things that have a lot of colorant in them, you don't want to clean up that mess. So anyway, but when I'm working with them, if I've pulled out a bunch of colors, that's when I lay them on their sides because the shimmer will shift and the pigments will settle to the side and they shake up faster. So method to the madness. lawn care industry is such an environmental disaster. It is, 100%. Thankfully, our lawn is tiny. Again, we live in the suburbs. If we had like large property, he and I have already discussed, it's like we would not have grass.
Nope.
Just natural, local plants, local species, that kind of stuff, rocks, etc., etc. Because yeah, grass is awful. It is awful for the environment, and it's just annoying. It's so time consuming. Yeah, we only have a very small little patch of it, and
all of our trees are for pollinators.
yep, and our little trees. And if this was going to be our like forever home, we would rip it all out.
Yep.
And just have like little garden and natural little bits here and there. Because yeah, not a fan, man. I'm not a fan. Okay. Yeah, once in a blue one.
It is a untamed backyard.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Planted my front yard with flowers. Yeah, our front is like all gravel because we mimicked our neighbor because she already had hers like that. And then I just have a couple of like garden plots in the front where I have my cherry blossom, like decorative cherry blossom tree that the local rabbits eat in the winter. And they ruin it. And the shape of it's perfect. And I'm really annoyed with those things. And that's the other thing when I got home and the kids were like, the rabbits were here eating my tree. And I'm like, ugh.
They only eat the one side of it too.
Whatever's the most convenient for them. They run around it in the middle of the night. You'll see the tracks. They party. They're wild little rabbits. And they run around it. You'll see all the tracks. They poop everywhere. They leave a track of poo. And then they gnaw on my tree. It's like, stop. And do they need to? No. There's tons of food sources around here for them. Like, all over. Like, we're in the suburbs, but there is, like, brush 10 minutes from, not even 10 minutes, a few minutes from here. Anyway. But yeah, one of our neighbors actually did that. They have all, like, wildflowers and things instead of grass in the front. I love it. She's got, like, poppies and sunflowers and all kinds of little wild flowers and different things. And they actually have pet rabbits. Because they bring their pet rabbits out. And they put the cage upside down and they move them because we have areas where there's grass and weeds and things. And then they get to have some outside time and they mow down the grass. I love it. It's so cute. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to actually making the card. I am just sidetracked. Anyway. Okay. The deer eat my plants? Yes. They would. They 100% would. That used to happen when I lived in a very small town and I would come home from work when I would work the night shift and there would always be like a herd of deer hanging out in my front lawn area and I would just slowly literally herd them out of town with my car. And they would get out and they would just like, and then they'd be back the very next night because I had huge poplar trees in this little house that I was living in, like 100-foot tall trees. It was crazy. Oh, cleaning the leaves up in the fall. Don't miss that. Okay. Where's my brush? There he is. There we go. Could you put a wire cage around it? We've thought about it and we think about it every year.
Yeah.
It just, in the fall, it's not an issue. Like right before winter comes. But then over winter, the snow climbs higher. And then when we clean off our driveway, the snow gets higher. And that's when we should do it. But by that point, every year, we are so tired and just not functioning. And then we don't do it. And then I get angry. Because then we come outside to run an errand and you see that the rabbits were around. And I was like, every year, we're just like, we're going to do it. We're going to get like burlap or something. We'll wrap that tree up. And it never happens. So then I complain about it every year. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to my headspace. I'm just, yeah. Especially headspace when I'm like, I'm so tired. Oh, it's so silly. And the rabbits, they're so cute when we see them. We see them quite often too. They're so cute. But man, if they would just leave my tree alone. Because yeah. Anyway. Shaken. And then I just dip the size 4 brush. This is how I love to use spritz. And this color actually, I think, is a win for this. Love it. You can obviously, like, you can 100% like spray spritz. The whole point of it is the way this was formulated and the way the nozzle works and everything is it doesn't spray like a fine mist. That's why it's called spritz. It actually sprays and it'll have like blobbies and splattery bits, which love. But I have found that I really prefer using it like this. Shake it up, pop off the nozzle, dip a brush, and splatter it. And it just makes me happy. Yeah. And it's subtle. I might be able to show the end, but it's just like shimmery bits of splatter, you know? I'm here for it. Are we going to add more splatter? Of course. Of course. Like, I'm not done. I'm not done. Okay. Our daughter has a pet bunny. I like rabbits. I do. Not as much as pet. I actually have a scar. Can we see it? Might not be able to see it very well on camera. You can kind of see it right there. That weird little like S curve. I used to have a pet rabbit when I was a kid. His name was Levi. I don't know who named him. He was black and white. Adorable. He was a nightmare. And I deserved that scar because I always would try to like cuddle him like a baby, and he didn't like that. And at one point, yeah, he kicked me and just permanently scarred me. But that wasn't what was the biggest issue. It was the fact that he would chew through. He figured out that he could chew the corners of the doors, and he would chew them enough that he would open doors that way. So all the doors he destroyed, all the baseboards, chewed through the computer cord, any cord of anywhere, because he'd escape and destroy everything. So he went to live on the farm, and not that way. He went to live on an actual farm. He was rehomed to my grandmother's farm, and she spoiled him rotten. He ended up like absolutely enormous because he was like this big.
Oh yeah.
Like I would go out there to visit him because that wasn't very far away, and I'd visit him all the time and stuff. And like she spoiled him rotten. So yeah, it wasn't like, oh, you know, your pet went to live on the farm. We all know what that means. Yeah. In that case, yeah. So he did. He got to live a good life, and he got to live outside and just be spoiled rotten. So it was good. But yeah. Rabbits are interesting little creatures. Oh, I'm adding more splatter. Yeah, I'm getting so distracted. Oh, okay. So that was cracked pistachio. It was a win. Not going to use the mold lawn. Don't need it. But we're going to add white splatter and black splatter. Let's just do it. Where's my... I'm like, I feel it, and it hasn't even been, it's been like, what, 3 days since I last posted a video? It's not like it's been 3 months, but it feels like it. Feels like it's been an age. Okay. Positively perfect white splatter. There we go. From what I understand, with pet rabbits, a person needs to have more than one. I think they're the type of creature, I might be wrong with this one. I know certain animals, they need to have like a friend. I think. I can't remember if rabbits are ones that fall in that category, but yeah, they are super cute. But yes, they need like little enrichment and things to keep them amused and engaged because they can chew through baseboards. So yeah. So stirring up the splatter, because just like I was saying with the spirits, it applies with this stuff too. Anything with a pigment in it that is a liquid product, gravity. The pigments settle to the bottom, and you want to make sure things are stirred up so that the pigments are dispersed evenly. And then we'll start with the white. Yes. I love splatter so much. It just makes me happy. And sometimes, especially with this product, with the Simon Pawsitively Splatter, because it's like a liquid product, a lot of times when I first dip my brush, I will tap off into the corner of my, let me move that. That's why you can see my little like crop paper. I'll tap off in the corner more so to remove just the really huge blobs. It always depends on my mood. Sometimes I want them, sometimes I don't. But that's why I'll just like doop just to get the biggest blob off, and then we're good to go. You were correct. You should have more than one. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I was right. Yeah. Rabbits need a friend. They need a friend to, yeah, and to groom them and all that, because they're like little social creatures in that way. But then you have to be careful with rabbits because they breed like rabbits.
Yeah.
So I would assume that could cause an issue if you got, and if, because then if you had like say 2 male rabbits, I would assume they could sometimes fight. Pets, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Well, I think I shook that a bit before I first opened it. So I keep wipes on hand. Okay. So that was the white splatter. And then white splatter. And then I want to add a little bit of black splatter. That's what I want to do. So with this, it's the same thing. Very liquidy. Pigment still settles to the bottom. It doesn't look like it, but it does. And stir it up. And with this one, with all of them, same concept. I store them right side up. You don't want them to leak, but especially this black, because carbon black pigment will stain everything. And it is not easy to clean up. Like, it's even stained my little silicone stirring spoon. I'm not concerned about this. I've used hand sanitizer. Will remove most of it, but it's meant for stir. I don't care. It doesn't need to be perfect. Our tools are meant to be used. But I try to be careful with it. I try to be aware of it. I try to keep my elbow away from it. It is only a matter of time, but, you know, I'm trying to not make a huge mess. And just, this is what I call a light amount of splatter for the black. You know, I added a bunch of other stuff, but this is what I like to do. Just a little bit. Tap off the excess because there's big blobs there. Yep, we're good. Okay. There we go. I got my dog a cat. So funny. Quite the process. Bring a second route. Yeah. Oh yes. With all those sorts of things, and like, because unless when people adopt, animals that are already, because that one makes me mad. When people will get shelter animals that have a companion that are bonded, and they don't want to take both, and it's like no. If they come that way. Like if they have a friend that they are bonded with, like you have to take them both. Don't separate them. That makes me so mad. Anyway, yeah, introducing though little companions for pets. Yeah, it's a lot of work. They don't usually take too kindly to it. Some do, but yeah, it's all a lot of work. Okay, so I got my splatter. Love it. And then sentiment. That's what, because the splatter can dry now. Because I put on a fair bit, so it can sit and dry while I stamp sentiment. There it is. I was like, where did it go? And I managed to get it everywhere. Are we doing any makes with the vintage bunny set? That was part of that limited edition kit, wasn't it? I don't have it, so I won't be. I'm not sure if I'll be getting it. Because that set was part of the limited edition kit, which I didn't even talk. It sold out crazy quick, which I wasn't surprised. It was fabulous. I might be getting it because there will, you know, a lot of times they will send it to me in the next release, like, and, you know, and I'll get it to use because items like that, like the stamps and dies for most of Simon's kits, whether it's a limited edition kit or a monthly kit, etc., ends up just becoming part of their product line, you know. So a lot of times I just use it, you know. Um, but as of right now, I don't have it, but I might end up with it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So it is a nice set. Okay. So I've got the sentiment from the, I already did the whole spiel on this Good Greetings 1 set. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. And then this is Concord and Ninth Sea Glass cardstock. I'm pretty sure it's sea glass. I dug through my stash and I found a scrap, and I think that's what this is. So I've got that. I've got my sentiment. I'm gonna clear heat emboss it. Yeah, I'm gonna clear heat emboss it with Nocturne ink. Let's do. What's the difference between the spritz and the mica stains? The spritz is just color shimmer. Mica stains have colorant in the liquid, and Tim Holtz did an in-depth explanation and comparison of that when they were released. And the spritz are part of the permanent line. The mica stain sprays are seasonal, and they'll keep bringing them back as long as they stay popular, basically. But most of the mica stain sprays, because they're like Halloween ones and Christmas ones, and there's however many colors. Of course, I have them all because I couldn't help it. But they only come back seasonally. But some retailers, like Simon's The Stamp, etc., stock up so that they usually have enough to last until the next season, and then we just hope that Ranger keeps releasing them. So yeah, that I need to get back into using my mica stain sprays. Those are all behind me on the wall. They're gorgeous. They're all gorgeous. They're all gorgeous. Do you need all the things? No. Do I need every color of everything? Yes. Anyway, anti-static powder tool, just always a go-to. So anti-static powder tool, VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. Doop. Like that. Almost perfection. Almost. Almost. I'll ink it up one more time. Lovely. It doesn't need to be heat embossed. However, this is an oil-based ink, and especially on solid color cardstock, but really like any cardstock, it takes a while to dry. And I am really bad about smearing it before it's dried. So I would rather just heat emboss it and move on about my day. You can heat set it too, but it's like if I'm going to heat set it, I might as well heat emboss it and give it that shiny finish because I like it. I like it. Where's my lid? There it is. I love the mica stain sprays. The mica stain sprays are really pretty. Like they're good. They're good. I need more hours in the day to use all the things I buy. Oh my goodness. Actually, I'm gonna need that in a second, but one thing at a time. Let's melt this with my heat tool. There we go. Yep, and like I've said in many other videos, live streams, etc., when you heat emboss, the minute it melts, move the tool. Once it's melted, stop. If you overheat it and you just keep going, because you saw that took seconds. You know, I let it get hot, which also only took seconds. This does not need to sit for like 3 minutes turned on. It is a hazard. Fire hazard. This is a construction tool. It's meant for stripping paint. Love this thing. Love it so much. Heats up really, really quickly. But you got to be aware of it. It is not a toy. It's not a tool. I always unplug this at the end of every day. And I highly recommend it. Even on a power strip, we've had this discussion. I know I sound paranoid, but it's just, in my world, this is common sense, because this thing can burn down a house very easily, very quickly. And I know people that it's happened where their pet has knocked it over, speaking of pets, and it turned on because, it was plugged in, it got knocked over, the switch got hit, and this thing's extremely hot. So, but that's besides the point. When heat embossing, because I see that a lot, and people get frustrated at times because they're like, it's not raised, it's very patchy looking, like, has my embossing powder gone bad? I've never seen, like, embossing powder is basically just ground up plastic. Like, maybe some people have said it, but it also might do if they're in a more humid climate and it's more just humidity getting in there, but it doesn't really go bad. Like, I've had some embossing powders for literally over a decade with no problem. However, if you overheat it, it liquefies instead of just melting, like, because it's getting so hot, it turns into pure liquid. And when it turns into pure liquid, where is it going to go? It's going to go into the paper, and that's where you'll get that patchy, weird. It just doesn't look nice, So the minute it melts, the second it melts, remove the heat, and you're good. And then it's, see, like that. So I love heat embossing. It's like the most simple technique, and usually it's like it's that first time you ever do it, and it's just like, especially metallic, obviously, like gold metal, like melting metallic embossing powder, it's like magic, and it's the simplest thing. So yeah, and it will never get old. Like, just even clear, anything, melting embossing powder is just fun, and it's quick, easy. You just unplug the heat tool. All right. Yeah. Some of our tools, they're pretty heavy duty, definitely worth it. You just, yeah, I want people to be safe, okay? Okay. And yeah, it doesn't need to heat up, because I've seen that suggestion on, like, forums and different things, and they're like, well, let it heat up for like 3 to 5 minutes, and I was like, no. 30 seconds at max is all you need. Other heat tools might vary, but even then, they do not need to heat up for minutes. Because I've also seen people post photos of, like, because some of the embossing tools, like, meant specific for crafters, but it's a similar idea. But they'll have a plastic safety bit around that metal nozzle, because that metal nozzle gets unimaginably hot. But I've seen people melt that thing because they let it sit for too long, and they're like, I let it warm up for like 3 minutes, and I'm like, and then I saw the photo, and I'm like, you were so lucky you didn't burn your house down. Like, yeah. So I'm paranoid for a reason. It just freaks me out. See, Gerald, yeah. There have been cases like that, because people think like a power bar. We've talked about this. Power strips with a switch. Even if you turned it off, there is still power running through that. It's kind of the same thing with all our appliances, etc. Even if you turn the switch to off, there is still power running through there. And depending on the power strip, faulty wiring can be a thing. That's also why with power strips specifically, I do not buy cheap ones. We buy good quality, especially ones hooked up to all our equipment. Everything we get, like the good name brand, they cost more. But I would rather have a quality power strip than a crappy one, because that too, look at reviews, y'all. There are so many photos of like melted power strips.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's those things just I am paranoid about it. Like, yeah, I don't want to burn my house down. Don't want to do that. That freaks me out. So, yeah, something like that, like a heat tool. Other things, my computer, etc., it's plugged into a power strip and it's on, but at least the power strip will trip, That's what I'm protecting it more with, that kind of stuff. But a heat tool, I unplug it. I don't leave it plugged in. There's other people who do, and they're just like, I've always left mine plugged in. And I was like, cool. You know the risks. You're an adult. I can't tell you what to do. This is what I recommend. And everyone can make their own choices. Informed consent, everyone, So, yeah. I take my job making cards on the internet seriously. I'll make fun of myself, but at the same time, with some things, I'm just like, this is just proper practice in my in my opinion. So we're going to die cut him. Boop. Like that. Yep. So, I've trained myself not to turn out light till I made sure that. Yep. Oh yeah, I did the same thing because I'm really bad about like habits and things, and I made it into a habit that when I'm done work at the end of the day, I have little plugins right here, and I look immediately at it to see if, because I have the two heat tools, I have that one that I use, and I have the Ranger one, and I look to see if they're still plugged in. If they are, which they usually are, I immediately unplug them, and I have little clips on the side of my desk that hold the plug-in, this bit, you know, so I can visually see it, because it's like I need to see it. And I've come down here and I've sent him downstairs in the past. It's like, can you check to make sure my heat tool's unplugged? Because, yeah, everything else, my lights and all these types of things, they're plugged into power strips. I'm not concerned about them, but the heat tool is my big one. And then I do the same thing, like the once in a blue moon, I use like a curling iron or a hair straightener. Same thing. I unplug those. I don't leave them plugged in, ever. One, don't have the space for it, but also I don't leave them plugged in because, yeah, they can overheat, and they're the type of tools that get crazy, crazy, crazy hot, and not fun. Also not fun when you didn't realize that you left your hair straightener on and you went to grab it thinking it was cooled off. That'll teach you to unplug it. Ask me how I know, you know? Do it once, you'll never do it again. Okay, I'm going to die cut a couple extras to build dimension, as we do. Mary, I know exactly what show you're talking about too. I had to stop watching that show because it was just, I was like sobbing every episode. Just sobbing. It's a good show, but I couldn't take it anymore, even though I was enjoying it. But I was just like, I can't. Why am I doing this to myself? But yes, no, there have been many cases, or like, it sounds crazy to me, but some people, I remember hearing about how people would take their hair dryers and stick them under their blankets to like warm up their bed. And if anyone does that, or like, you know, someone who does that, please get them to stop. You can purchase heated throws and heated blankets. That's what I have. Like, a hairdryer is another tool that draws a significant amount of power and has a heating element in it. And when you're suffocating the airflow, y'all, please don't. Please don't. Because again, people have burned their house down doing that. I sound like the crazy, like the old man ranting at the clouds, but it's like, no, there have been documented cases of all these things. Like, these things have happened. People have done this. Same with like charging their phone and keeping it in their bed while it's charging, like in between blankets and pillows and things. And I'm just like, anyway, there's all my PSAs for the day. My goodness. Yep, hot water bottles work. Nowadays we've got like all the little you can get, little heating pads you can heat up in the microwave. We've got those little small ones. But I personally got, it's a twin size heated blanket. And y'all, it is heaven. Because especially as I'm getting older, I get so cold at night. Like, I'm so cold. So I'll get my little heated blanket and I'll get it going as I get ready for bed so that when I crawl in, it's all nice. Oh, it is. We don't go on vacation. We don't get to do much, of anything. But for me, it's such a luxury. Like, just thinking about that, I can't wait till tonight. I can't wait till I plug in my heated blanket and I can curl up and go to sleep, and it's so nice. And then in the middle of the night, I'm like sweating and kicking that. I kick that thing off. I'm just like, nope. But yeah, I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. Didn't people used to put coals in boots of their beds? Yeah, they used to have they were metal warmers. Pannier, is that how you pronounce it? And they would put coals in them. And it had little vents and had a long handle. And they would, and it was usually people, wealthier people, because your servants would do this for you. And they would go up and put those between the bed linens. But then they would remove them, you know, to heat the. But that was also back because generally, you know, you had a big fireplace in the main part of the house and the bedrooms weren't. Unless you were royalty, you know, that level of wealthy where you had fireplaces in those rooms. Again, I keep asking him for to stop hiding the generational wealth. I would like a castle in Scotland and people to do all the work. Warm the beds. Anyway. Yes. Oh, it's coming together. I love it. Okay. All of you need a heated blanket. You want to take a swimming worth away, blah, blah, blah. Can't get cool enough. There are options for that. For people that get too warm. I think it's muslin is one of them. Certain fibers are good for that. There are very fancy beds now and like attachments you can get that can. I've seen them advertised. It's like basically air conditioning for your bed. Yeah, and it's like a unit you put beside the bed, and it's got like a whole thing, and like they exist. They totally exist. Yeah, in the summer especially, I can see that being a very much awesome thing. Because yeah, I don't really use my heated blanket, of course, in the summer because it's too hot for that. But considering it's winter time more than half the year here, my heated blanket gets a good amount of use. Okay, so I've got my card base. I think I'm gonna have to trim down just a sliver of it because it's just a smidge. It is too. It's just a smidge wider than my dot, which happens sometimes. Because sometimes I don't cut my card bases very straight, you know? Actually, it'll just be easier to fold it in half and use this cutter. Yeah, I think bamboo bedding is another one. I've seen them. Same thing. I've seen it advertised, like that keeps you cool. Because I think the more breathable types of fabrics will be good for that. I just haven't overly looked into it because I don't really have that issue. Well, sometimes I do. Again, getting old is fun, you know. It's like and I've turned into like Goldilocks. I'm too cold in the beginning, and then in the middle of the night, I'm just sweating buckets, and I kick off all the blankets. And okay, so I've got my card base. I'm gonna just shave off a sliver, just a sliver. There we go. That'll be more than enough. Like that. That's all I had to do. Okay. And then, after my office manager telling me about a heated blanket for so I also finally bought one. One of the best purchases, 100%. Worth its weight in gold. Thankfully nowadays they're pretty cheap. Like, I got the twin size one from Costco and they actually carried like a queen size one and a king size heated blanket. I thought about it. I thought about the king size one because I was like, I could just be wrapped up in that. But you haven't complained about being freezing cold.
No,
And I was like, a king size would like heated blanket would I think just really irritate both of us.
Yeah.
It's too much. So I got a twin size just for me, and it's perfect because the one I had before was just a throw, so it wasn't big enough. And the twin size, you know, it right my toes right up. I'm like wrapped up in it. It's so good. I'm so looking forward to tonight, y'all. Sleep. I'm looking forward to sleep. Okay. But yeah, I did get him heated. We got him heated gloves though, like heated mitts. Those are nice. Those were a little bit of a splurge, and they were worth it. You know, because when you're outside shoveling snow and all the things, and I've used them too. Love it. And yeah, We can get heated jackets, heated vests, all of it, especially up here where it gets to -50. It all comes in very, very handy. Okay, just a note, I want to add, I'm going to use 2 sentiments from this. Oop. I'm going to do that one, and I'm going to do that one and that one. This will all make sense in a second. Because again, this set is so good, y'all. It's so good. So, I'm going to use this one, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this in that. I don't know if I did that one in the black. And okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to line this up like so. Yep. And then too cold for 5 seconds, sweating bullets for 5, then chills, then so hot it's miserable, getting old. Yeah, I'm getting there. It doesn't happen all the time, but some nights, yeah, I'll be freezing cold, and then thankfully it's not like rapid like that, but I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'm just sweating. It's love it so much. So good. I have a king size heated one. It has 2 controls. Yeah, I think the king size does have heated controls, but I sleep like in a cocoon. He called he ran off probably to go to the bathroom, but he always jokes about my nest. Cuz I've got like all my blankets and I've got a body pillow cuz my back and hips are so messed up. And yeah, so I have a cocoon, so that's also why, even though a dual zone heated blanket in theory would be great. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not to mention, we've tried that when we share blankets. Yeah. He doesn't do a whole lot, but he has in the past woken up in the middle of the night and just literally reached over, grabbed my side of the blankets, and like wrapped himself up in them. And I was like, excuse you. So now we have his and hers blankets, and everything's great. And then I don't threaten to divorce him in the middle of the night. So yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. And yes, heated steering wheels. Yeah, that is a level of luxury that I've never achieved. Because generally, which is annoying around here, they only put it on like the premium vehicles, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't need that many bells and whistles. Although at the rate everything's going, I'm sure it's going to be like a subscription service, just like so many other stupid car features that they're doing now, which don't even get me started on that rant, y'all. Oh, that makes me angry. So I'm sure when the time comes where we were getting a different vehicle and we could get a heated steering wheel, it would turn into like, sorry, you need to subscribe to. Oh. I've been hearing it's getting worse too, like navigation and stuff. Which that one I was like, I wouldn't pay any vehicle company to like subscribe for like basic navigations. Like that's what a phone is for. Like set that up and use Google Maps, whatever. But yeah, the big pet peeve. Big pet peeve.
When you buy a vehicle and they do that OnStar cold call crap.
I hate OnStar. I have a personal vendetta against OnStar so bad.
I just bought this thing and you now want me to call a service and tell them I don't want it? Are you kidding me?
Yep. Oh, I know. I have been dealing with OnStar off and on for 2 decades. Yeah, 2 decades since they were new. Anyway, it's a long story, but hate. Mm-hmm. Anyway. How do the elderly or disabled deal with snow shoveling? I wonder in your area. A lot of places like we have like a condo place that is meant more for elderly, that sort of a thing. So then it's part of like the building maintenance. There's people that do it. And around here, there's a ton of like businesses and just individuals and even kids, like teenagers, do snow removal, all that kind of stuff. And like there's a lot of people too that like, especially if we get hit like hard, because that happens every year, where we'll get hit hard, you know, with a huge snowstorm, different things. And there's the amount of people that will go out, and it ties into how I was saying earlier about like boys and their toys, the amount of men, because it gives them an excuse to pull out. Like one of our neighbors like has a tractor. Like he saved us. The one that was a couple years ago. We got dumped on, so like that was a snowstorm to end all snowstorms. It was insane, and Chris and I were out for hours. And it's like, and because you needed to go to a business thing.
Yeah.
That was why we were trying to get out of our driveway, and we were shoveling, and there was no way. And he was upset because it was important. And then this neighbor comes along with this tractor and just cleared it, just did it because he could, you know. So a lot of people do that, especially if someone puts out a message. It's like, hey, I know this person that like they cannot physically do it, and people will jump in and show up with their snow blowers, their shovels, and help clean them out. And yeah, and our neighbors do that for us. We do it for them. You know, whoever gets out first with the snow blower, we just keep going, and we'll do in front of the neighbor's house and their driveway and things like that. Because
yep, when the weather turns bad.
Oh yeah, when the weather here, because it's just life here is snow, a lot of it, and we all have the toys and the things to deal. Although we need to put that on list. We need new snow shovels. I've like broken our shovel. So yeah, no, we make it work. We make it work. Mary, that's hilarious. My husband makes wisecracks about me being in menopause. My response is always, you know I cook your food, right?
Should let him know that he's also in that type of menopause.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't affect women. It changes for men too.
It does. They just named it midlife crisis.
Yeah, they just named it midlife crisis.
You know,
right.
It's like, oh, it's socially acceptable, but men do, like all the humans, you know.
Hormones changes when they get up to the mid 40s to 50s. So.
Yep, things start to change. So much fun.
It's more visible on a woman than it is on a dude.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I will never forget that. I knew someone, it was many, many years ago when I was much younger. Like, I knew what menopause was. I was aware of it, you know, but I'd never talked, no one would, and back then, this was, again, like 2 decades ago, no one really talked about it much, and, like, there wasn't everything online like we have now. And I remember knowing a woman, and she was just starting to go through it, and I happened to be, like, talking to her when a hot flash hit her, and physically seeing it in front of me, like, watching it happen, I was floored, and I felt so bad for her. I was like, and then I was like, this sucks so much. This isn't fair. This isn't fair. Not looking forward to it at all. Like, yeah, just seeing it hit someone it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, so not fun. So not fun. On top of all the other things. So, I love that there's more discussion around it now. And more research. Finally, after centuries. You know? So, yeah. Chris needs an ATV with a plow. Literally, the amount of people in our area.
Yeah.
Like, if we had a bigger property, we would. But we don't have the space for one. It's like, oh, if we ever got a bigger property, that is actually like a priority, is either, an ATV with a plow or an actual like big snowblower. But literally, we've got people because there's people that do this as a business. So there's people with bobcats and the amount of snow removal equipment. You guys should see the size of our like community, like that's owned by the city, like the snowblower. Like it's industrial. It's the size, the snowblower itself is connected to like a semi truck, and that thing is fun. It just, I was like, there's so many things you could put through there. Like, it's got to be what, like 8 feet wide, 6 feet,
Yeah.
at least 6 feet wide. And it's enormous, and it's got a great big huge, and then they blow it into the back of a big like semi truck. Basically, that's how they clean the streets around here. It's massive. So
You can clear
yeah,
a lot of snow very quickly.
yep. We pay a good amount in taxes, but snow removal is a big chunk of the budget. Because yeah, all around our communities and the city and everything else, there's dedicated like land areas that is a snow dump, because that's where they ship it all, because that's what we have to do, and it's just mountains of snow because it's got to go somewhere, and we all have to work and function and get through 6 months of winter. So it's nuts. Anyway, as I'm like chatting, I stamped my sentiments. So I did that one. I'm like all over the Tropic, just the darker shade, and then TIDEPOOL, which is what I did the little blending with for those. So they'll soften out a little bit, but love that. Sounds like a fabulous community. Everything always has it's like drawbacks and things like that, but more often than not, especially around here, people can be pretty decent. Sometimes they suck, but especially when people need help, things like that. Yeah. And we do happen to have like a couple of really good neighbors.
Yeah.
Like just really, really good people that are just so helpful, and we will help them every chance we get to, because they're good, and we want to be good people, because I don't want to be the crazy psycho neighbor, you know? So we always try to like pay it forward, and then yeah, it's like they do something nice, so then we'll bring over a little bit of baking, and then we'll do something, and they'll bring over a bit of baking and things like that. Like, yeah, it's always good, and it's nice, because I've had really crappy neighbors as well, and it's just, well, actually we still kind of do, but they're just not like right beside us. And yeah, again, when you're living in the suburbs and you can't pick and choose who decides to get the property next to you.
No.
Like, when I lived in that rental, and the person next door was an absolute lunatic over the street parking, which we don't own the street. And the amount of like chaos and drama, and just, oh, it was such a relief to be able to move away from there.
I really didn't like the way that they looked after the golden retriever.
No, they were not very nice people. I don't think they live there anymore. But anyway, some people can be so unhinged over the stupidest of things. Anyway, adhering this to my card front with liquid glue. I'm just making sure I actually got all the edges pressed down, because I kind of warped the paper a little bit when I die cut it, because I've talked about this. I am really bad about, I will keep using my die cutting plates well past best, use by date. Like, my plates will be unbelievably warped. And the Empress, like for the Anna Griffin Empress machine, like the plates don't technically warp, but I will use them until they warp, because I'm just cheap like that, And I will use my die cut plates until either it starts doing things like that, or because people have asked, especially with dies like this, that's another little intricate wafer dies. So ones like this that have like tons of little like detail, or really, really fine, fine, scrolly, intricate wafer dies. If you haven't had a problem die cut and all the different things, and then you're having issues with certain intricate dies, most of the time, the reason you're having a problem isn't because of the die, it's because your plates are too warped, used up, etc. Try the die with fresh plates, and then gauge, because every once in a while there can be a manufacturing defect. It doesn't happen that often, but that's how I found with not this set, but like the new Whirl butterflies. I think I talked about this in last week's live. my first couple passes with them when I was die cutting when I first got them, they weren't die cutting very well, and I was like, oh, did I get a dud? I was so annoyed, but it was like my plates were so used up. So I was like, fine. So I switched to new plates. They cut like butter, like perfection. I was like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The mountains melt by next winter. Oh, I think you were answering that. Yeah, the snow dumps, they do melt. Sorry, my like comments were stalled like way back. Yeah, they melt. They take a while because there's like dirt and stuff mixed in. So it'll be like warm spring weather, and then you'll drive by the snow dumps, and there's still like piles of snow, but they do melt. They melt. Anyway. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I've been just like chatting and like rambling to the camera and not even looking at the chat. Apologies. The weird hermits. Yeah, Chris and I are hermits too, but our neighbors are decent people. We avoid a lot of people. Heck, we even avoid our neighbors a lot, but they do their thing. Everyone's working, everyone's busy. You know, we kind of meet in the middle though. If we notice something or they notice something or whatever it is, it's like we step in, deal with it. But they're chill, we're kind of chill within reason. And it just works. It just works. I'm sure on this block at least, I am the crazy neighbor. I know I am. 100%. I'm sure they're all talking about me. I don't really care, but let's be honest. Let's be honest. Anywho, okay. I'm still gonna pop this up, even though I had stacked it, so it's got like dimension. I'm still gonna add some big mama foam tape because I can, and maybe a bit of stickles again because I can. Where's my? I need these scissors. That should be enough. That should be enough. Okay. Y'all, I can definitely ramble. I can ramble. And really, I've got brain cells firing on like 2 cylinders max at this point. It's been a long couple days. That said, even I am surprised at how this card is turning out. It's working. I'm shocked. Part of it was I kept telling myself, I was like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. I don't need to do some like mind-blowing technique. Just like everything, like try not to overthink it. It is just paper. It's just card making. None of this is going in the Louvre. But as the content creator that does this as a job, sometimes I'm like that pressure I put on myself to like, I need to wow everyone, you know? It's like, chill. Just make something, you know? So that's what I set out to do. And it's coming together. Okay. So put a bit of Big Mama foam tape. We're gonna just line them up right there. Yeah. I'm gonna hang them off the edge a little bit. Just like that. And then I want to add a bit of bling and a little bit of stickles. And then call it a day and probably go have a nap. Where did my bling go? There it is. I pulled it out. I got bling. I had stickles. They were here. Was it crystal? I forget. Which one did I have pulled out? Why didn't you read my mind and tell me?
I'm trying to.
You're trying to?
But every time I go in there, I just keep...
You get scared.
It's like a hall of mirrors.
Yeah, it would be. Okay. I got stickles. Got a bit of bling. Yeah. Okay. I have some black Pawsitively Dazzling gems. And a random... I think that's a butter. Speaking of butter, that's funny. I don't know how that got in there. We'll just set him aside. He'll find his home later. Okay, I have some black Pawsitively Dazzling gems, and we'll just stick a couple on here. Like that. couple over there. Like, yep, I like that. Okay, so got that. I missed something. Yeah, there's always those types of neighbors. Always. Trust, there always is. Yep. Yep. No, a former neighbor was like that. Like, literally. They would, when I had a little rental house before he and I met and got this place together, and working from home, I had a window that overlooked the front, and it was just a narrow little house, and we all had street parking and then like a tiny little garage in the back. And my neighbor was obsessed with like their property lines, like obsessed. I started noticing it, but then I actually caught them in the act doing it. Like, they would get so upset if my vehicle was like over the property line, and I was like, that's not a thing. Like, you don't own the street. In fact, you generally, and especially around here, I was like, you don't even own the frontage of your property. That's owned by the city. But like, just obsessed with any time I would and it was like I had 4 kids. I was hauling and unhauling and grocery, all the things. So it's like I would park in front of my house. And sometimes I'd have to park a little further up because the other neighbor would be parking, things like that. And like they would get out and like they had damaged their vehicle, and I caught them in the act. In fact, I had started dating you at this time because I remember texting you about it because I was taking photos of them because they were out checking my bumper, trying to prove that it was me, even though I was like, doesn't line. And yeah. And I knew it wasn't me because I was like, I would never do that. I'm not that nuts. Anyway. Yeah. And then it wasn't until the very end when we were moving out and he parked his vehicle in front of their house and she came out and just went feral. And it was funny because he's a pretty soft-spoken dude. And her and I got in and we were yelling at each other because I was done. Like, she had been nuts for months. Like, it had been building for so long, and her and I were, and he got in, you said some pretty crazy things, but like he was defending me and I was just like, I made the right choice. I'm so glad we're moving in together. Because, yeah, she was nuts. I thought I was going to... anyway, glue those in place. As I had the stickles, my Knight in Shining Armor will draw a winner for this card. I'm going to add a very light amount. And I've talked about what I was saying earlier about liquid glue, stickles, etc. on vellum and how it'll curl. The other thing that you need to keep in mind with vellum specifically and wafer dyes like this is when the dye has pierced all of this into the vellum, so it's all that piercing. So those are like they're openings in it. So you just need to keep that in mind that when you're adding something like stickles, and it would be the same with liquid glue. Don't glop liquid glue on vellum anyway, but with stickles, because it is a liquid glue. That is what it is. It just happens to have beautiful sparkles added to it. But when you add it, the vellum will curl. But because of that piercing detail, it can also, like, it's pulling in different ways. So sometimes if you glop it on, the wings could just go like weird. Always remember also though that it might look crazy at first, but let it fully dry. Because sometimes I've done it and it's just like, and I was a little heavy-handed and the wings went just not cool. But you let it fully dry because it will relax a bit as it fully dries, but just keep that in mind. So I'm only going to add it really thin because I just want a bit of extra sparkle because it's, the thing that makes me the crazy here is my 12-foot skeleton. I would love to get one of those, but again, we don't have the space. We don't have the storage space, and I just don't have the energy. But there's several people in our community that have them. There's one across the way. They put it away. They don't keep it out. But there's another one that when we've gone for walks, that's like several blocks from here. And I was like, And they have it set up where they've got a bunch of shrubs and stuff too, so it's basically kinda almost like peeking out of the shrub. I love it. And we've seen every once in a while. Yeah, I don't think that one still has theirs up. They've done seasonal though. I've seen it out not at Halloween, and they put little, like, I think a lei on it and a little, like, hula skirt, things like that, and I'm just like, I'm here for it. I love it. And then a different neighbor, like, further down, got because Costco started selling it. It's not a 12-foot skeleton, but it's that big one where it's just the shoulders up, so it looks like it's coming out of the ground, and it's enormous. And I'd shown it to him at Costco because I was like, "Oh, that would be so fun." Didn't get it, but someone else in the community did, and I was like, "I love it. I love it so much." Like, things like that. That's the type of, like, one-upping I'm here for, is the Halloween decorations and the Christmas decorations, like, when the neighbors are, like, one-upping each other and, like, spending way too much money on this stuff, but I'm just like, "Do it." I love it. It's fun. So and they'll get and, like, creative. Just like I've said so many times, like, everyone is creative, and it's like, if you wanna be creative with your Halloween and Christmas and whatever, your outside decorations for your house, do it. If you've got the time and the energy and the budget for it, cool. I don't got any of it. I don't got any of it. But yeah, someday it would be fun. Cause yeah, that 12-foot skeleton. Yeah. Yeah. That is actually one of the like major positives. I'm not gonna get into all the negatives of social media because again, that could be a rant that would last forever. But I do love when people will, film reels or like show what they did to create whatever it is, or they'll take Halloween decorations and turn them into Christmas or Easter, whatever, things like that. And I'm just like, yes, here for it, build that stuff, use the things, be creative. It's fun. So adding stickles, I'm going to add stickles to the body because of course this dragonfly is going to be just blinged right out. And then I'll add just a little bit here and there to these leaves. Not much, just little tiny dots. I'm barely squeezing the bottle. Like just like tapping it, not even like glopping it on. And then doop, like that. Just the littlest bit. Just to give it that extra something. I'll even do some under here. You won't really see it, but I can't help myself. But when the wings curl up a bit, you might see a tiny bit of it. There we go. There we go. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Love it. Oh, I know. The skeletons can be so so much fun. There's this guy on YouTube who turns his house into light shows that go to yeah. Oh yeah, we've seen those ones. And again, it's creative. I hope that the music isn't crazy loud and the lights. Like I hope like the neighbors are all at a distance or they're like actively okay with it. Because that's a lot. I would not be happy. I would not be happy with that level of involvement and noise and light and everything. But I love watching the videos of it. I was like, because it's not here, and I'm just like that. It crazy creative and time consuming. Like, okay. I'm gonna zoom in. There we go. And then I don't know if we can. You can see the stickles, obviously, and this will like these wings are going to curl up. This was why I doubled the vellum this time too. So it just gives it that extra because these ones will curl up a bit, and then you'll see the second layer. So it gives it that extra something, and then just really light, that the Distress Spritz, because, you know, I just kind of splattered it on just a little bit there, but it just gives that extra, just that hint of shimmer. So this worked. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And this live went long. I was like, oh, I've only been live for an hour.
No, unfortunately.
I thought I was doing so good on time, and I was like, that's crazy. I'm almost never gonna do a live in an hour. Yeah, no. I lost track of time. No, because we started an hour earlier, so we're about on pace as per usual. Not bad though. And there's the inside. So yeah, this was super, super. This was fun. I'm glad I went live. As tired as I am, I'm glad this worked, and I didn't cry. And we're gonna end this live before I cry, because I'll find something to cry about. And I'll be like, oh, I don't need that. We don't need that. I'm too tired to cry anyway. Anyway, who am I gonna send this to?
Today's winner is Michelle from Kansas.
Michelle in Kansas. I think I might even know who that is, because I think they comment quite often. So Michelle in Kansas. This one, as well as all the ones from the last 2 months, however long it's been, haven't been mailed out. They will be. Probably by the end of the month, maybe even sooner. I like to give myself a runway, literally. Because I've been busy, y'all. I've been busy. But I will be mailing out all the winners over the next couple weeks. Takes me a bit, but I don't have as many like deadlines, and like I've had a lot of my we still got to deal with my taxes. Not thinking about that right now. I want a nap.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was fun. I'm glad I did this. And then yeah, last little housekeeping reminder, that sale code is in the description box below if you're watching this live or replay before the end of tonight, which is March 8th. Simon's sale code that I shared, that goes until 11:59 p.m. EST tonight. So that's all Simon brand stuff, CZ Design brand stuff, and Rainbow Splash brand products. And then the disclaimers and the fine print are also below. And then the disembodied hand can thank you to the disembodied hand.
Off he goes.
Awesome. So thank you for helping. And then I'm going to end this. Once all this is dry, later, I'll take the photos and do the social medias and clean up all the ads. I try to make it so that my YouTube lives don't have ads. But again, I'm not in control of that. And the algorithms and the robots and whoever it is pressing buttons behind the scenes, some people get them, some don't. But after the live is over, for whatever reason, the algorithm seems to think that people are totally okay with ads like every minute or two. And I have to wait until it's done processing. It takes a while. But then I go back in and I manually like clean all that out, because that's just ridiculous. And yes, I do this as a job, and I get a kick of a percentage of the AdSense money, but I'm also not a complete psycho, and I wouldn't sit through that. So those that watch quite quickly on replay, sometimes I apologize when the ads are like just constant. Because yeah, it's until I'm able to like physically get in to the back end and they show up, and then it's like I delete most of it because it's ridiculous. So that will be for later me to deal with. I'll probably get to it tonight after I have a nap, because I am exhausted, y'all. It's been a long day, but I had fun. I had a lot of fun making this. This went good. This went really, really well, and yeah, I appreciate you guys. This was fun. This was a good, very random chat as usual, but it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll do the photos and the social medias, and of course I've got other videos coming this week. There will be a bonus live or two. I'm not exactly sure when. Those ones, I fit them in around everything else, and it just depends on what I have on my plate. But there will be a couple bonus lives, and I'll try to give everyone as much of a heads up as possible. We'll just see. And yeah, I am going to go literally have a nap because I can't even keep my eyes open. So I appreciate you all. And there'll be videos, possibly a bonus live. And then I'll be live next Sunday, 2 p.m. Central, which is 1 p.m. my time now, thanks to all the whole daylight savings, spring forward, whatever, stupid stuff. Meh. And yeah, this was good. Okay, I'm going to go. I will talk to y'all later. And just making sure my software's working. I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!